Good morning, kindergarten. Today, we're going to put together our rainbow collage. So, if you made colored strips last art class, you are ready to go for today. If not, that is a-okay. I just need you to go back to last week's lesson, and last week was Tuesday, March 31st, and you can follow the directions for how to get yourself started. Today, we need 2 pieces of paper, and I'm recycling some paper, so if you have extra papers laying around your house, you can do that. And we need a glue stick, a pencil, scissors, and my strips from last week. Okay, so the first thing that you're going to do is cut these apart. And you want to cut them into what Miss Eworth likes to call just right size pieces. Do you know Goldilocks and the 3 Bears? Do you know that story? Well, Goldilocks was a little girl, and she went into a bear's house. And she sat on their chairs, and the first chair was too soft, and the second chair was too hard, and the third chair was just right. And then she ate their porridge, and the first porridge was too hot, and the second bowl of porridge was too cold, and the third bowl of porridge was just right. So when you're cutting your pieces today, you don't want to make them too big, and you don't want to make them too small. You want to make them just the right size. So how do we do that? Well, let me show you a little tip about cutting, okay? When you cut, I'm going to hold here, and I'm going to cut from this side first. So I have the most in my hand that's left of my page, and the little pieces just fall. Okay, so let me see if I can, do you see how now I'm still holding most of the paper? If I start here, then most of the paper falls, and I have to pick it up every time, which is okay. So a just right size is about this big. It's about the size of 2 of my fingers, and that's going to be a just right size to glue it and to stick it. There, I stuck it on my paper. If you don't have glue, that's a-okay. You can still practice your cutting, and then you're going to set it up like a puzzle and take a picture of it. But glue, or even, glue will be the best. You can use glue stick if you have one, or the liquid glue. Okay, here we go. So I need to finish cutting my red pieces. And again, I'm going to hold it and cut from the side so that I have more paper left in my hand. And the pieces are just falling. And can you see about how big I'm making those? Now, I cut the rest of my colors, and they're in piles next to me. You can cut them all at once if you want, or you can do them one by one. The colors are a little bit important as far as the order that they go in. Let me say that a different way. When we're really thinking about a true rainbow in the sky, which we know is God's promise to Noah, and I know, kindergarten, you love rainbows. God's promise to Noah that he would never flood the earth again. And he wanted Noah to remember that. And so he put a rainbow in the sky as that reminder to Noah that God keeps his promises. I've got all of my red pieces. I've got my orange pieces in a pile. What I was saying before about God keeping his promises, a true rainbow really does have an order. Like when you start with the alphabet, you start with A. Now we can use the letters all mixed up together to make words, and we can use all the colors all mixed up together to make pictures. When we're thinking about rainbow order, just like there's order in the letters of the alphabet, we do want to think about red, orange, yellow, green, blue, and violet. And we call that rainbow order. Okay, are you ready for the next step? So I've got my pieces and I've got my two papers. I'm gonna glue these together. So I'm just gonna put a little bit of glue here on the edge, and then I'm gonna stick them. See how I overlapped? That means they're touching a little bit. Press that down. Okay, my pencil is gonna help me with a curve. So I'm gonna draw from about here up to here, one curve. That's gonna be my room for red. Okay, and when I draw that curve, I'm not gonna hold my pencil here because then my hand is in the way. I'm gonna try and hold my pencil in the middle so I can see where my line is going. Okay, I'm gonna start right about here, not quite at the bottom, not quite in the middle, and I'm gonna make a big curve like this. Here we go. Can you see that? It's sort of upside down. I'll flip it around for you. Now my fingers are at the top. Can you see that? You want to draw yours really lightly. Okay. I'm going to start with red. I'm going to put a little bit of glue down first. And I'm going to stick them. And when I stick them, I want them to touch. I want them to overlap. Can you see those two pieces? They're just touching a little bit. I could also put glue on each piece one by one if I wanted. Or I can put glue a little bit at a time and stick them. And if you don't have glue, you're just going to set them up like a puzzle. Okay? Just a little bit more. And I might run out, and that's okay. I'm just going to go as far as I have pieces for. Okay, and my red is finished. What color comes next? You got it, orange, here we go. And so this time I'm gonna put glue. I didn't draw a pencil line. You can if you need one, but I'm just gonna put glue right underneath the orange. Whoops, I said the wrong color. I'm gonna put glue right underneath the red, and then I'm gonna stick my orange onto it. When I stick my pieces, if I stick them this way, they'll go a little longer. If I stick them this way, my line will be a little shorter when I glue them together. And I want them pretty close. You can even see here, maybe that my orange and my red are touching each other. Can you see that? Bring it a little closer. There we go. Put a little more glue. More glue. I'm just doing the glue a little section at a time. If I stretch it too far, this part might not be as sticky when I get to glue them. But I think this is easier to put the glue on the paper than on the small squares. Okay, here we go. I can squish those down with my fingers. I'm going to do the same with yellow, and then green, and blue, and violet. And when you're all finished, there may be room for some other details. So I'm going to show you those next. What do I need to make a rainbow? Well, rainbows happen when the sunlight goes through the raindrops. And so I'm going to add a sun. I'm going to find my crayons here. Let's show you my paper again. I'm going to add a sun and a little bit of rain in this corner. Let's see, do I have a yellow? Yes. I'm actually going to draw my sun with a little orange first. So here's the shape of my sun, and I'm going to do a little orange on the edge, and then a little yellow to fill it in. Okay, a nice bright sun. And if you want, you can draw some sun rays coming from it. That means little lines. Might be easier to see with the orange and the yellow together. And I have room to do that because I didn't stick my sun right in the corner. I made my sun a circle. Here we go. Boys and girls, so rainbows, definitely God's promise to Noah. They're also an idea in science because color and light are an art idea and a science idea. I've got my sun, I need some raindrops, so I'm just going to make a few little raindrops with a light blue color here. Because the sun shining through the rain makes the rainbow. I can't wait to see your rainbow collages. When you're finished, have Mom or Dad help you send me a picture. And then, boys and girls, I always put a comment with your artwork, usually the next day. And so today, I'll have some instructions about how you can see your comments in PowerSchool. It's a little tiny bit tricky. You have to go back into the assignment tab, and then you have to go to view work, and you'll see my note back to you. Okay, have a great day. Bye, kindergarten.